Hello everybody, welcome to Marxist class number 3. I'm Comrade Lee, and today our subject is the abolition of private property. And this is a subject that a lot of people confuse. For example, Professor Jiang. A lot of people misunderstand this. Like literally anyone who claims to be knowledgeable about communism while also being an anti-communist doesn't understand this. So why do communists want to abolish private property? Why is that something that anyone wants to do? They want to get rid of it. At first sight, private property is a very essential, almost obvious thing to have in our society. But when taking a deeper look at it, you truly understand the essence of private property and what kind of property communists want to get rid of. So let's take it from Karl Marx himself in the Communist Manifesto. In this sense, the theory of communists may be summed up in a single sentence: the abolition of private property. We communists have been reapproached with the desire of abolishing the right to personally acquiring property as the fruit of one man's own labor, which property is alleged to be the groundwork of all personal freedom, activity, and independence. Hard-won, self-acquired, self-earned property. Do you mean the property of the petty artisan and of the small peasant, a form of property that preceded the bourgeois form? There is no need to abolish that. The development of industry has to a great extent already destroyed it, and is destroying it daily. Or do you mean the modern bourgeois property? And a page back, it says, the distinguishing feature of communism is not the abolition of property generally, but the abolition of bourgeois property. So what is bourgeois property? What is the bourgeoisie? Well, the bourgeoisie is the land-owning, rich, very wealthy individuals that are the ruling class of society. They're often referred to as the 1%. These are the Epsteins of the world, the Donald Trumps of the world, the people who hold actual power: Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, all these very wealthy, even sometimes nameless individuals. So essentially what Marx was saying here is that the property of the average citizen, your house, your car, is not what communists want to get rid of. It's not what they want to abolish. So basically almost everyone watching this video has nothing to worry about. No communist wants to take your personal belongings. But why do they want to abolish bourgeois private property? Why do they want to abolish the private property that the rich own? It's because they own the land, the resources. They own the wealth of the largest majority of people. So all these things they own, for example, a factory, a farmland, they allow them to extract wealth, to extract profit from the people who work in the factories. These lands, these resources, these factories allow a small minority to extract profit from the labor of the majority of people, causing severe wealth inequality. And think about the logistics of this. One man owns a whole factory. So the labor of the workers who work in that factory, he gets to extract wealth from. He gets to take their money. More simply put, private property allows someone to make a profit, to make money without doing any work themselves. But this money has to come from somewhere. So in this process, they exploit, they take wealth from another person. They take the fruits of someone else's labor. So private property, the property that communists want to abolish, is property that is owned for profit. That's the sole reason that it's owned, for profit. This factory is owned for profit. So what about when basic needs are owned for profit? Basic needs like houses, food, etc. There's all kinds of basic needs that someone needs to survive, right? Holding basic needs like something one needs to survive above one's head for profit, and justifying it by saying it's private property. You don't own it, I do, so you have to pay me to live. The whole idea that you have to pay someone to survive is crazy. It's a dystopian. Because a lot of times, people just ignore the circumstances of other people. The situations that other people are put in. If the prices of goods and services go up, goods and services that you need to survive, but your wage stays the exact same, there's a problem there. There's a contradiction within the system of capitalism. As a society, we should just put two and two together. It makes sense. We should give people their basic needs. They should be publicly owned, regardless of private property. Who do you think they belong to? Because there's no logical way, there's no reason you can give me for someone owning a factory. There's no reason you can give me for one person owning 1,000 houses and holding these things for profit above one's head. And don't get me wrong, this is a very bad thing to do, but it isn't the individual that's the problem. It isn't the one person who owns the factory that is the problem. Obviously, they benefit off of something, right? A system. Systems are the problem, not individuals. Because we like to blame it on individual people, right? Like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. They're all very bad people, but why are they bad people? They're bad people because of the system of capitalism and the system of private property. Something that they very, very largely benefit off of. So the conclusion we can make from this is that we should abolish private property, because nobody watching this video owns private property, and they're being held against our heads for profit, right? These things are being prioritized for profit and not for basic human need or doing what a company should be designed to do, and that's fulfilling the wants and needs of their customers. They're just doing what they do for profit instead of the more humane thing, right? A company, no matter what, will always choose to do what is more profitable, what's going to provide more value to the shareholders. So we need to rewire this system of private property. Make the property that would otherwise be owned by just one person or a small group of elites be owned by the people who work in the factory, or by the whole community as a whole, so that it can serve the needs of the people and be used to help benefit the people in a better way. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one. Go get 'em.